Our trip continues from Pohang to Busan. The color guidance lanes were so useful, especially when we didn't know when to exit. And the benefits of driving while traveling is that when we saw something interesting, we just stopped over. Especially when we knew that there was a lighthouse. In fact, this location had two. We heard about this D1 bakery cafe right off the coast, and it's supposed to resemble.
We've never been to Greece, but it is on our bucket list.
This cafe is located in the southeast coast of Korea, between Pohang and Busan. You can tell that the owners put a lot of attention to the details when they were putting together this cafe. They made rooftops for people to walk up to and get a more clearer view of the ocean. And they have areas where you can just sit around and lounge or walk around. And there are little restaurants down below that serves all different kinds of food. So in this one location, there is a photo op place, an arcade, a restaurant, a fast food, street food vendors, and a huge two-story cafe. After we took some pictures in this photo op boxes, we decided to head on down to our location where we were going to stay for the next 3 days in the city of Busan. We quickly checked into our hotel and walked around Haeundae. We returned in the morning to be greeted by another group of entertainers. After listening to the entertainers, we decided to take a walk along the beach. It was such a beautiful day, clear skies, and such a nice weather to walk along before it started getting hot. And we happened to be there when they were having the Sand Sculpture Festival, and we got to see the actual sculptors working on each of their artwork. I got to talk with a couple of the sculptors, and they were sharing with me how they were from another country and that they were invited to be one of the sculptors for this festival, and that the theme this year was putting a little bent or a little twist to the classic artwork from the Renaissance time period. So it was kind of like having a museum in the outdoors on the beach, and their medium happened to be sand. Oh my goodness, look at the details he's putting on this cat. Speaking of details, this was amazing. It was one of the biggest ones there. This one is comical in two senses. Not only is he using a cell phone, but he's taking a selfie with Mona Lisa. I know one of the sculptors said that the theme was a Renaissance period, but I noticed that there were very different kinds of artworks here. Contemporary Star Wars, and then all of a sudden back to Egyptian. So it was a very interesting variety of artwork and sculptures. I really enjoyed it. While the Sand Festival wasn't on our list, the next location was. It was a bamboo forest, and I was so looking forward to it. And it did not disappoint. And as you can see, the excitement was very real. There is a fee to enter, but it was so worth it. Oh my goodness, every little walkway that we passed by and that we walked on, the paths, oh, it was so well maintained. And little did we know that there were so many K-dramas and K-movies that were filmed in this one little location. As you can see, every pathway that we walked on has its own little uniqueness to it, whether the wall is built on huge rocks or just filled with many trees. And they provided benches along the way so that when you get tired or you just want to sit and rest and enjoy the view, you can. And keeping with the theme, they built this fence with the bamboo. This particular trek had some inclines, so as you can see, some people along the way were just taking a rest, which I totally understand because we did as well. And then we continued going upward, and eventually you get to the top, and you do come back down to get back to the exit. But oh, the walk was so worth it. There was so much to see and enjoy, and we just stopped probably about every 30 minutes to take pictures and didn't even realize that we were in there for 3 hours. Okay, here's a fun fact. Did you know that bamboo is one of the fastest growing plants in the world, and that some species can grow up to 35 inches in a single day? And it's not a tree, but a grass. Remember how I mentioned earlier that a lot of K-dramas were filmed here? Do you recognize this location right here? My favorite part of looking at any tree or plants is seeing its leaves just swing back and forth against the wind. And there's a reason why the bamboo symbolizes strength and flexibility and resilience. Because when you look at the structure, the bamboos have a long fiber that allows it to sway with the wind rather than resist it. So it reduces the likelihood of snapping. And then the hollow stem, the combination of strength and lightness allows the structure of the plant to bend easily under pressure. And then the segmented, divided into sections by the nodes acts as a natural shock absorbers. So these nodes help distribute the stress evenly throughout the plant, preventing cracks or breaks. And then the rapid growth of these bamboos produces new shoots that replace any damaged ones. So this regenerative ability makes it highly resilient to environmental stress. This was right at the exit. There was a resting spot right here in this 100-year-old hanok where you can sit and relax and use a restroom before exiting the compound. And right at the foot of the bamboo forest, we found a wonderful restaurant. Oh my goodness. We didn't even realize that this was one of the highly sought out Korean barbecue restaurant, and we were just so hungry that it was the first restaurant we saw as we were exiting, and decided, oh, there's not many people, but you know what, we're hungry, we're gonna go inside and eat. And look at this spread. It was so delicious. Oh my goodness, the meat was tender. The side dishes, each of them had its unique flavor, and you know that the barbecue is done right when it's cooked right over the mesquite charcoal. Next day, we decided to head over to the local outdoor marketplace to check out what they had. And as you can see, they're very much like any other outdoor marketplaces where you'll find unique desserts and dishes to that location. I must say though, wherever I go in Korea, the most expensive item I found compared to the United States are the fruits. Boy, are they pricey. And we found the local favorite, this nokduchan with either seafood or green onions, and we chose the one that had the combo. And then right after finishing, we hopped over to the other side of the aisle and continued our street food fare. And no visit to Busan is complete without indulging in a seafood feast. So as we were seeking one, guess what? We ran into another red lighthouse. So as we were walking along toward the restaurant, we were greeted by a wall of mosaic artwork depicting the legendary women divers of Korea. Some well into their 70s have been free diving for seafood for centuries. They dive without any modern equipment into the ocean to gather abalone, seafood, and other treasures. It's a practice passed down through generations. It's an essential part of Busan's coastal culture. Korean women divers, the Haeundae, are not just divers, they are cultural icons representing a way of life that's both challenging and rewarding. Watching them work is an awe-inspiring experience, a true testament to the human spirit and the bond between the people of Busan and the sea. And guess what kind of treat we got today? We got to experience actually watching these Haeundae working right after they had gone out to the ocean and came back and cleaning all of the seafood that they themselves have caught. It was such an unexpected scene right here. We didn't realize that we were going to be seeing the iconic women divers working right after they had caught their treasures and their seafood during the earlier part of the day. And this was around 4 or 5 p.m. and they had said that they just came back from the ocean at 1 p.m. and they had been working since 1 p.m. to clean all of their seafood that was going to be served in the restaurant right in front. They've been working since 6 a.m. this morning because that's the time that they went out into the ocean to catch all these seafood. And their day is not over yet. As you can see, they still have a lot more to do. And if you get a chance, head on over up the stairs and you'll see a restaurant where they serve you all the food that these women divers had caught that day and cleaned. And right upstairs, you'll see a museum giving tribute to all of these women divers. It was so interesting to see this picture with all the women divers and the man rowing the boat for them. History has it that women became divers to contribute to the household income, especially in the coastal communities. That women were believed to be better suited for diving due to their higher fat content and better endurance in cold water. So the biological advantage may have contributed to the development of the Haeundae traditions. We are seafood lovers and spicy food lovers, so we ordered a dish that fulfills both. We ordered a spicy bowl with noodles inside and a side of kimbap. It was so delicious, not to mention the view that we had while eating. And what a way to end this little mini trip to this coastal part where we got to see the women divers and we got to eat delicious fresh seafood and a peek right before sunset, which I dub as the golden hour, the time which I love even more than the sunset itself. The next day, right before heading out of Busan, we stopped by for an early lunch and had this steak lunch special, which was very delicious. And the best part of it was neither of us had to cook. We were really able to enjoy the meal because somebody was cooking for us, and instead of cooking, we were able to reminisce about our visit to Busan right before we left. And part of our set menu was this dessert, vanilla ice cream with espresso poured over it. And it was so good. Last, it was time to leave Busan, and we were headed to our next destination. Just as I was excited about heading to our next destination, I have never experienced anything like this. This freeway entrance and this loop that we had to make to leave Busan was one of the most scariest things I have ever driven under. Or I should say, driven over. I mean, do you see this incline as we are making this loop? I mean, this long loop. And the incline, it's just, the turn is sharp and narrow. It's amazing. The sunset view, oh my gosh. This is so scary. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Though that was scary, I was so looking forward to our next destination. We're headed to Namhae.